I'm Santa Claus. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm Fat Daddy, the reindeer boss. I packed my sleigh with goodies and toys. You know I'm on my way to feed all the good little girlies and boys. I'm Fat Daddy from the North Pole. Whoa, whoa, yeah. I'm Fat Daddy, Santa Claus with soul. All the kids know me simply because they know Fat Daddy is really Santa Claus. All the kids love me simply because they know Fat Daddy is really Santa Claus. I need to say Merry Christmas to the whole world tonight. Come on, Dancer. Come on, Prancer. Blitzen. Where Rudolph? Let's go. On to Mondawmin, on to Lexington Market, all over the world, all the children. Have a happy
You're watching the Good
Christmas.
News Show with me, Marc Clarke. Thanks for your support.
I'm Shalonda Stokes, President and CEO of Downtown Partnership of Baltimore, and I'm repping the Good News Show with Marc Clarke.
What's up, friends? It's the Baltimore Foodie and the boy with the blue beard.
Love, laughs, and lyrics. Presented by the Lancasters. Sunday, February 15th. Valentine's Day weekend. At Magooby's Joke House Theater. Doors open at 5 p.m. Show starts at 6 p.m. Last show was sold out. Don't be left in the cold. Get your tickets now on Eventbrite. Celebrate love with the Lancasters.
And welcome to the Good News Show with Marc Clarke. My special guest, I'm telling you, a Renaissance woman. She is, she's a mother. She's an author. She's a real reality TV star. She's has her hands in real estate. Did I say author already?
Yes.
Entrepreneur. Monique Samuels joins us on the Good News Show. Monique, how you doing, beautiful?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
Look, we got to hop in this because you do so much. You do so much. So we fell in love with you on a reality show,
Yes.
but you have done so much. You've done so much in life
Yeah.
that I just want to hop in because I think, you know, when we see people on television, these reality shows, whatever they are as the character on the show, I think that's how we look at them.
Yeah.
But, you know, off air, we were talking about your rap career, your interest in real estate and your abilities in real estate.
Yes.
Obviously, you have a new book out, you're an author, entrepreneur. And so, you know, so many things that you've been doing and that you want to do. What's something about you people may not know?
Oh my goodness. I'm a creative. I love writing. Like that's one of my favorite things to do. I started out writing poetry when I was really young. And then that is actually what turned into me rapping. I had a friend that was like, every poem that you wrote can literally be a rap. You should get into that. And it's amazing how one thing always leads to the next. You know, I started rapping. I thought that was going to be the big thing. I always knew I would be in entertainment in some way. And I moved to DC, even though I was going back and forth to New York to record. I was recording at Sony Studios. I was like really in it. Moved to DC, and that's where I met my ex-husband. And we dated for 6 years. And everything that I learned up until that point, it felt like I learned it to help him. You know, so it's like I was his business manager. I had been familiar with real estate. I was doing real estate appraisals prior to meeting him. And he actually had a development project that he was working on, building homes in Selma, Alabama. And he had some business people that did some bad business, stole a lot of money from him. And here I come, helping him kind of like piece everything together, and created the nonprofit for him, and was able to salvage some of the money that he lost, and then, like give away some of the homes that were built and keep his name looking good, so it's just funny how everything just kind of pans out. But I always say I lived many lifetimes before I even met my husband. Then I lived several lifetimes while being married. And now after, being divorced for over 2 years, I'm living some more.
I love this because I think this is a couple of things. It speaks to the power of when you marry somebody, this conversation around pro athletes marrying certain people, whatever. But when you marry somebody that can actually, as a team, you guys can move forward. That's very powerful.
Yeah.
I think also here you're more than just a pretty face. I mean, I think
Thank
again,
you.
a lot of times the assumption is, oh, she's fine, that's why. But there were other reasons, obviously, too.
Oh, yeah.
You were bringing some talent, you're bringing some skill sets to the marriage to help the marriage, and I love that. And
Absolutely.
Also, like you said, after the marriage, you also are continuing to do the things that you do from your book to your business.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we're going to talk about radio because, I'm a radio guy. I love radio. And so you have the radio bug. You've done it now. Once you tasted the bug, people don't understand, do they? They don't understand radio. What do you think it is about radio? Is it first of all, the fact that you could do radio, we have something to say, the communication piece. But what do you think it is about once you do radio? It's kind of like it's in your blood.
So for me, my power is in my transparency. I love to be open. I love being an open book, and radio gave me that platform to just be me. You can be free with your opinions. You communicate with so many different people that are listening every day. And it was just fun. You almost forget that you're talking to so many people because you're just in a studio with your peers, your coworkers, and you're just having a good time. And they're just listening in on the conversation. So I think radio just gives you this space to just be authentically you. And if you say the wrong thing, you're going to get clowned, right. It just gave you a moment to just be a person. And you have all these people that are listening to you, that are driving to work or commuting wherever they're going, that are just having a good time, listening to you laugh, listening to you joke and talk about the latest news. And it was just so freeing for me. So I love radio.
And I think it gave insight into you as a person, because I think some of the knocks against people on the reality shows is that maybe they're just another pretty face, or maybe they don't know, they don't really have any depth.
Right.
And I think that the beauty of radio is that, it pretty much, like you said about transparency, people get who you are.
Yeah.
And if you don't have depth, it's reflected. But also, your point of view, when you have, and as you could be funny, you could be insightful,
right?
And you have a take on what's going on politically. All these things ended up making, not only you guys had a great radio show, but it made you a great radio personality. And I think also for those who got a chance to check you out, they now got to know more of who Monique is.
Thank you. Right? I've had so many people that would call in, or they would message me on Instagram, and they were like, I have gotten to know you far better listening to you on the radio than reality TV has ever allowed me to get to know you. And, when it comes to reality TV, you are living your real authentic life. Your reactions are your reactions, but a lot of times you're not able to see the full picture because, it's a 45-minute show. And if it's an ensemble, you're getting about 4 minutes of just you out of the whole show. Like, if you really think about it, that's a lot of footage that they have to cut down to just get something that will be entertaining. So you're only getting the parts that are salacious or entertaining. You're not getting all of those real raw moments. And a lot of times fans or viewers of the show, they have to rely on their own personalities and project who they are into each character on the show to really have a connection. So you don't really get to know the person.
And actually, so you have a famous / infamous, I guess, one of the moments of reality TV, your fight, I guess, or
that and the binder. It was a double whammy.
And so, so looking back over all that, because it's been some time.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you would have done differently? or what would you have done? Because like you said, at the end of the day, in a reality show, this is a show.
Yeah.
So they take the parts that are most salacious, that are most dramatic to make people watch.
Yeah.
So it's not even real. It's not really real. It's kind of like whatever. But is there any way that you move that you would have changed, or not necessarily? It is what it is.
The beauty about reality TV is that it allowed me a space to be myself and also see myself. Because at the end of the day, however I reacted was still my reaction. Regardless of whatever the context was, it was still my reaction. And if I was a person at that time that was allowing other people to have that amount of emotional control over me, I had some work I needed to do. So there's nothing that I would change, because if I change anything that's happened, I wouldn't be where I am right now. So it allowed me to actually see myself and to say, regardless, if people don't know what happened or the reasons why, none of that makes sense, because I still reacted, you know? So I had to really kind of take a look at myself and say, okay, what do I need to work on myself so that I'm not so easily triggered, so that that never happens again? So that's what I did. And I went on a journey, and I started to journal literally 4 years ago. And I really wanted to make sense of who I am, ask myself the question, like, who am I? And why am I like this? Like, what caused me to be this type of person? And I started doing therapy. I started journaling. I started really spending a lot of time with myself. And all of that process, I was able to document, which then later on turned into this book. So it was a healing moment for me. So I feel like everything that happens in life, it happens exactly how it's supposed to be. And if I change just one thing, I'm not going to end up with the result. I'm not going to be that best version of myself, because I would have tweaked everything. All those mistakes helped me to become better, you know? So I wouldn't change anything.
I love that. Spoken like a true author. And again, we're going to get into, coming up, we're going to get into the book, because I think that's what I love about the book. In addition to your perspective, you have exercises, you have advice.
Yes.
It's like a workbook book, which I think is so important. And I love it because the way you tied it into the reality show, because I think that is how you turn that experience into something that not only benefits you, but also benefits others. Because I think it is definitely, when you're a wife, when you're a mother, when you're just a young Black woman in America who's gone through so much, sharing that information really can help others. And I love the fact that you're doing it with the book, but I think it also is the reason why people have been supportive of you, because you have been transparent, and it's not just been about me.
Right.
And so coming up, we're going to talk about the items that you are selling, the entrepreneur side.
Yes.
We're going to talk about the book and the workshop, and we're going to talk about maybe some of the messy stuff that also happened
Let's get into it.
recently. With Marc Clarke, Monique Samuels. Stick around.
I'm Shalonda Stokes, President and CEO of Downtown Partnership of Baltimore, and I'm repping the Good News Show with Marc Clarke.
What's up, friends? It's the Baltimore foodie and the boy with the blue beard.
At United Way, we've spent the last 100 years working with communities across Greater Baltimore, and we can't wait to see what the next 100 years looks like for all of us. Together, we are united for our futures.
I'm Shalonda Stokes, President and CEO of Downtown Partnership of Baltimore, and I'm repping the Good News Show with Marc Clarke.
It's a Good News Show with Marc Clarke, talking with the Monique Samuels. So Monique Samuels. Now, you've been making the rounds with the new book, and you said your transparency is your what'd you say?
My power.
Your power.
Yeah.
And I've been like, woo, girl. Woo. Me and House with it, I'm like, what?
Oh my God.
So we're not opening up all the boxes. But so, you know, you've been talking about some of what's been going on since the divorce.
Yeah.
Some things have happened and not happened. But haven't been on a reality show where you kind of used to being caught up in controversy, if you will.
Yeah.
Because that's what a reality show does.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
So it's almost like you got the calluses to put up with it.
Yeah.
Now, your book, which offers advice, also talks about your experiences.
Mhm.
You're kind of meeting it head on with what's kind of happened in your life, and you're actually kind of not only journaled about it, but also some lessons,
Yeah, oh yeah.
right? And so I really don't, my brain. I'm not a gotcha interviewer.
Mhm.
I care about you. I care about your family,
Thank you.
but I want to know. I like to focus on lessons.
Okay.
What are some lessons that Monique Samuels has learned after being, in a sense, there was, I guess, a relationship that kind of got exposed on social media, if you will. You have to deal with that. So, what have you learned from I guess, the fallout of what's happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, there's a lot of lessons. And the thing that I've learned the most is that you can't run from your past. You can't run from mistakes. You can't run from misjudgments. You can't run from being human. So when we have these human moments, I think that you're talking about with my co-host. Is that what you're? Yeah. So yeah, this whole viral moment happened. This video was leaked. It was a video that I shared with one person, and that person is a former friend, who shared it with my ex-husband, and he was using that video as a way to intimidate me from going back onto reality TV and from also talking about this book.
So you said from going back on reality TV.
Yeah, so this was
almost like we're not going to. And again, I haven't mentioned, I'm familiar with you guys. You know what I mean? And so I don't think we have to. I think that people are going to go look up and see everything they want to see.
Yeah.
And I think families are involved, so that's why I'm not necessarily about that. But I am curious about, like you say, and I'm also friends with all parties. So
right.
Also, but the lesson piece that you learned, and then how you even approached it. Because I think what I love about what you said about your superpower being transparency, even in embarrassing situations.
Oh yeah,
that's the hardest time for it to be. It's hardest time to be transparent in those situations.
Yeah,
and the fact that you have stepped out, I appreciate that. So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
For those who have gone through it or going through it, or just the lessons that you learned from it.
Yeah, what I've learned is that there's nothing new under the sun. There's nothing that has not been experienced. A lot of times we judge people for any misstep or any lapse in judgment because maybe we've already been in those situations ourselves and we're too ashamed and we don't want anybody to know. Like I said, my power is in my transparency. And if I'm not open with some of the things that I've done in my life, you'll become a prisoner of your own shame and guilt, and I think it's about time people free themselves. I've certainly freed myself.
Do you think in general people are harder on women than men when it comes to, if you will, infidelity or whatever? Do you think and I think, to be honest, that's what makes it hard sometimes for a woman to be transparent, because they don't want the judgment, they don't want the embarrassment.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's not like this is the beginning of time. This has been the situation.
Yeah.
So how did you overcome that part? How did you deal with that part? And what about, I noticed I have 3 daughters and a lovely wife. Women can be hard as far as harsh in judging. What do you say to those people like, oh, she, her character, she did this and she did this? And what do you say to those people, and how do you move forward? I'm sure in the book you give us some advice, but how do you move forward when you're being judged and you're not proud of whatever you do, but you have to move forward?
Because I'm not going to judge myself by a moment. It doesn't make that my character. It doesn't make that the whole person. Now, when you do something and it's repeated and it's something that is constant and it becomes a habit and a pattern, that is your character. For me, it's not who I am. It's something that happened, a lot of times, especially for women out there that can relate, that are going through divorces. When you're in separation, you're open, you're vulnerable, and then you meet a person who's also in the same position as you, and you have conversation, and there's nothing that was even sought out to be anything. It was just friendship. It was conversation. And when you have those conversations and you're both vulnerable, sometimes it turns into something more. And it's not that I'm saying it's something to be proud of. I'm just saying it's something that can happen and has happened and will continue to happen for people down the road. So if I could turn that into a lesson for myself, is there's a saying that says, don't awaken love before it's time. And that saying is there for a reason, because when you are vulnerable, you'll end up opening up your heart to a person that is unavailable at the time, whether that's legally on paper, and they'll open their hearts up to you as the same, whether that legal document hasn't been signed yet. So for some people who have been separated for years and they're dating other people and they have their own openness about how they do their situation, or for people that are like, nope, it's not done until the paperwork is signed. Everybody has their different rule. Everybody has their different view on things. And I would have never seen myself in a situation like that, like ever, but it happened. And I can't deny it. It is what it is. And I can take my lessons and learn from it and not do it again, obviously. Like I said, it was a moment of vulnerability. And even when it comes to that video, it's 2 years old. I'm not currently dating. When I told people that I'm not dating, I meant it. My energy is expensive. It took a lot of learning for me to be in the space of healing that I'm in. And I have given myself permission to forgive myself and to be able to move forward. And if there are opportunities to talk to other parties, to also write those things with those parties, obviously I'm going to walk down that path as well.
Does the book, does the book deal with that at all?
It deals with relationships. It deals with love. It deals with the fact that when you do not have a solid love for yourself, you will fall to anything. None of us are bigger or better than the other. We're all capable of being in any situation if we don't know ourselves and love ourselves enough to make sure that we have certain boundaries, to know that whatever it is that I need to fix in myself, I need to do that first. And when I'm able to fix myself and love myself properly, then I'm able to know exactly what it is that I need and what I'm looking for. So yeah, I talk about all of it.
When you got married, were you whole when you got married?
No. But here's the thing, and I want people to realize this, is that sometimes you don't even realize that you're not. So for years, I'm walking around thinking that I have it all together. I'm walking around really believing the illusion that I created. And then one day you wake up, something happens that triggers you to just like look at your life like, whoa, what in the world's going on here? Like, what am I doing? Like, wait, who am I? You just have this moment where you're just like, almost like an outer body experience, where you start to realize I have been overworking myself. I have been depleting myself. I've been doing so much because I have been the one that's been creating this illusion and doing whatever I need to do to keep the illusion intact, versus looking at the reality of the situation and recognizing things for what they are and for people for who they are and accepting them for who they are. I wasn't doing that, and I didn't do it even when I got married.
Let me ask you this. When you get divorced, is it hard, like what you just said, right? Is it hard, or would it be hard to say that to your ex-husband, or have you said that to your ex-husband? When people get divorced, I'm just curious, because when people get divorced, a lot of times there's so much animosity, so much going on.
Right.
It's hard to just be honest, right? For whatever reason, right?
Oh no, I'm very honest.
So was there a time when you said that, or not necessarily?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Even leading up to the decision of separating.
Yeah.
I was having these conversations. Like, a lot of people think that, well, if women just say it while they're in it. I've said it all different kinds of ways. I've said it nicely. I've said it quietly. I've said it crying. I've said it yelling. I've said it screaming. I've said it amicably. I've said it so many different types of ways. And when it's not being received, that's when you have to sit back and just say, okay, maybe I'm with a person that just is comfortable with who they are.
Yeah.
And is that fair for me to try to put you into a position to be something that I want you to be if that's not you?
Yeah.
And I've had that conversation as well. Going through our divorce, it was very amicable. We didn't have issues going through the divorce. It's been post-divorce where the issues happen. It's like, let it go. Yeah. So our issues have been a little bit different. So going through it, he understood exactly why I was where I was. He understood exactly why I came to the decision that I came to, which is why he didn't fight me on it, because he understood. So whether he wanted to continue with that understanding that's the issue, but I was very clear. And I also was very adamant to let him know that this is my decision. I'm walking away, and here's my reasons why. I don't feel like it's fair for me to make you into a person that you're just not. And I think that you deserve to be loved how you want to be loved. And I'm not able to do that for you anymore, because self-sacrifice is not love. And once I realized that, I was like, I'm with a person that will be fine with me depleting myself and wearing myself down. And what am I showing my children? You know, so I had to make the change.
And you did.
Yeah.
And Monique Samuels has a new book called Love Letters. Also, How to Heal in the book.
Yes.
Also, if people would like to get the diffusers and all the other products.
Yes, Mila Eve Essentials is my baby. It's turning 5 years old. And this has been, everything I sell is healing, you know? So this helps people with so many different issues, from anxiety, stress, sleeping patterns, hormones, you name it. There's an oil for it. And I actually reference a lot of my favorite oils throughout the book when I'm giving you your remedy, you know, to use some essential oils to help you get through your journaling processes, or even while you're reading, to just create a nice atmosphere. But yeah, the book is all about self discovery. It's all about that transformation. It's all about looking inside of you and seeing that life is not happening to you. Life is happening for you. And if you could just change your mindset so that you can see that, you'll live a much happier and more peaceful life. But you do have to go through some things to get to that peace.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
When you tell us the website one more time, looking at
Yes, you can find everything Monique Samuels at www.moniquesamuels.com. You'll find my book and my essential oils, Mila Eve Essentials, as well.
Thank you so much for the time.
Thank you.
I look forward to having you on again. Monique Samuels joining us on The Good News Show. Marc Clarke.
To One World Studios, where culture meets creativity and your vision becomes reality. Powered by the groundbreaking partnership between Frank Johnson Media and Paris D. Rose Productions, One World Studios is a full-service creative agency that delivers bold storytelling, powerful branding, and content creation. One World Studios is the go-to destination for creators, organizations, and brands ready to lead with purpose.
I'm Anthony Jenkins, president of Coppin State University, and you're watching The Good News Show with Marc Clarke.
Hey, this is Bay Frazier, and you're watching The Good News Show with Marc Clarke.
I'm Shalonda Stokes, president and CEO of Downtown Partnership of Baltimore, and I'm repping The Good News Show with Marc Clarke.
Hi, we're Surface, and you're watching The Good News Show with Marc Clarke. Only you can make me happy. Woo! Happy.
Welcome to The Good News Show with Marc Clarke. I am Marc Clarke. Let me tell you something. We got so much going on in this show. I need notes. Tell us about this beautiful house. The Good News Show with me, Marc Clarke. Two of my favorite titans. It keeps...
Good news is coming. Good news is on the way.